Hey guys, welcome back. It's a little late at night. I am making this video to talk about. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, cool. I would like to talk about the current state of TFC Plus. I have been working on it quite a bit. Um, Recently, since I guess the last update. There is no new version right now, and there won't be for a little while, just because what I've been working on is pretty big. And I would like to take a moment to show you um, what we've got. I haven't actually prepared anything here. We're going to jump into a brand new world and just take a look. This is actually the dev environment. We're in a jungle. I don't want to be in a jungle. They lag. They tend to, and that's just because there's so many trees, which is something I... Oh, let's go north. I would like to take a look at. If this jungle... Yeah, if it's like, if there's just ocean, then... I may just have to create a new world here, and you'll have to bear with me. Alright, yeah, let's just make a new world. So that world's a dud, just because I don't want to be in a jungle when I'm demonstrating some of these things. So the next update coming up is clothing. I've talked about it quite a bit. But it seemed really daunting, but I've really, oh, here we go, gotten into it, and we can see what's up with that. Alright, so, where should I start? Okay, so, clothing can be made out of a number of different, or will be made out of a number of different materials. It sort of behaves a little weird right now. We'll see how that goes going forward. I guess I can talk about this item bone.name. The first thing you really have to do, if you want to make clothing, I mean, you can get up to a certain point, but you really won't be able to turn your materials into clothes without getting a bone. You'll have to find a rock. It's not going to work on wood. And we're just going to hit the rock. We're going to hit the rock in survival mode. And you'll see that it actually dropped bone fragments. We actually need a few more bones. Let's just grab a whole stack of them. Let's also grab some wool yarn. And we'll see if we can... Oh, okay. So we broke a couple bones. We got a bone needle and some more bone fragments. Bone needle. Take that. Take some wool yarn. Obviously... all the names and textures are usually the thing I do at the end. And I've only created these textures because it was really confusing otherwise. But yeah, so this needle is going to be how you're going to make clothing. And we'll demonstrate quickly how that may look. So let's grab a whole stack of wool cloth. Yeah. And we'll grab that, and we're gonna need to get a rock. I could have just grabbed a knife out of the creative inventory, but, let's just make one, so standard knife making procedure. Okay. We have our knife. So let's open this up This is not the final texture. This is a test texture. The final texture for wool will likely just be the wool block texture from vanilla. But we're going to open this inventory very similarly to how we currently make leather equipment, but this will not give us leather equipment or any sort of equipment. So for example, if we wanted to make pants, we would have done this, and there's no texture right now. But this is not wool pants. This is pants piece, and it is actually the wool pants piece. So if we take that out, you'd actually need to make 2 of these. We'd actually need to go and grab a couple of them, and we would then right click with them, and we get this inventory space, which is interesting. You'd just put your different pieces in here, and that's this. None of this is all set up yet, but these 2 pants pieces matching, both made of wool, that would bring up an image of a pair of pants up here, and you would take your needle and you'd want to sew along the edges of your pants. That's kind of crappy, but and if you'd done it correctly and you didn't have, like a random thing across the middle, then you'd be able to collect your pants from here. If you did have a random thing across the middle, you'd have to get rid of that, and so you're going to pick up a knife, and by right clicking we can okay, lost a bit there. Has a kind of a big cutting area because okay, yeah, I forgot that's like that, because it was kind of annoying to be able to hit the thing. So yeah, you cut out the little stitches that you don't want, and you're left with the ones that you do want. And if all of your stitches match up and you've sufficiently stitched the edges that you're supposed to stitch, you'll be able to grab your pants right here. So obviously this is a huge work in progress. You'll notice that like the health on this, or the durability on this, keeps resetting, and that's because it's a client-side item, or the damage is only on the client side. But that's the basic gist of how this is going to work. So you'll stitch along the edges, and that'll seal the pants together, and then you'll get your pants. So that is a thing. We can actually look at the only piece of clothing that currently exists, wool socks. And we put them on here. And you'll see, oh, now we have some socks on. And for the first time, this is visible in multiplayer. So if you have a barrel on your back, or you're wearing a quiver, your friends will actually be able to see you wearing those things. Whereas previously, that just wasn't possible. But that was a problem that had to be tackled in order for clothing to work. If we get some good old leather boots, and put those on, you can sort of see that yes, the socks are inside the boots, and that will be generally how that'll work. Yep. So as I've mentioned before, there is going to be a sort of a temperature gauge over here. I think the way it's going to work out is that when you're comfortable, it'll be pretty much transparent. It won't really show up, but as soon as you're outside of the comfortable range, it'll show up. It'll become more opaque to show you that, yeah, there's something wrong. And I don't want it to be very important what the actual temperature is, just that the thermometer is sort of divided into levels. And I mean, every level is 5 degrees Celsius, which is a chain about 9 degrees Fahrenheit. So each piece of wool equipment will give you 1 level of cold resistance. So putting on these wool socks would allow me to survive or be comfortable an extra 9 degrees Fahrenheit or 5 Celsius cooler than I would otherwise be. And that will show up visually on your little temperature gauge over here. These, let me say, linen socks will not provide any temperature benefit, but they will make you move faster if you are wearing boots. So that's just, actually, in fact, this isn't currently functional, but boots, leather boots specifically, will actually make you move around 10% faster, 5% on sand, but 10% faster on every other surface. So you will find you will find good reasons to get yourself equipped with clothing, not just for the temperature, but also because they can provide some passive benefits. Obviously, the best type of equipment to wear in the winter will be fur. There will be a fur coat, which will go in this slot, not here. This, you'd have to make a wool shirt or something. A fur coat, fur boots, and a fur hat. Fur clothes will come in both wolf and bear. I did not specify that before, but I've decided that that is what we're doing. So the wolf won't be as effective as the bear, but it may be a little easier to get a hold of. Yeah, I guess that's how this is all going to work. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you guys didn't think that I was being all lazy and not working on this. I'm working hard, you know, a lot of weekends. Although this past Friday was my birthday. I'm now 24, so I didn't really do much on Friday. But you know, yesterday and today, Saturday and Sunday, I've worked very hard on this, and I hope to continue to work on it in the future. When I release this, I will try to have a you know, I'll make a video discussing what the new features are in full, and you'll see the final versions of all the stuff you've seen now. But I'll try and compile a list of all the things that have changed. I'm sure there are things right now that I've done that I haven't talked about, like, no, I'm not going to show that. That'd require multiplayer. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. One more thing. I have contacted Captain Slowpoke, who was the old texture artist for Terraformer Craft, and he has offered to make some more textures for me, which is nice, because I need a lot of them right now. We have a lot of new items coming in, and yeah, so hopefully all that stuff will come together, and I will be back with you maybe soon, maybe in a month, maybe longer, I don't know. But anyway, guys, I hope you're looking forward to all the changes that are coming in TFC+.